I want to talk about something that a lot of guys that I've been talking to have a concern around, and that is when we're trying to lose body fat, when we're trying to reduce, any accumulation, any excess stuff that might be hanging around, we're afraid that if we reduce our calories by too much, it's going to eliminate some of the muscle tissue that we have on our frame. And as guys, we all want muscle, right? I mean, maybe we don't want to be like giant bodybuilders, but we want muscle to be strong. Because every guy, and I would argue every woman, we all deserve and we need to be strong to be able to do all of the physical activity or be as active as we want in our life. When we're stronger, it provides more opportunity for us in the physical realm. And it helps us to avoid a lot of the silly injuries that come with getting older. There's this kind of mentality of, I'm getting older now, I've got to be so much more careful. Generally, that's the case if you're not strong, right? So totally makes sense. If we're trying to reduce body fat, we want to make sure that in the manipulation of diet, which is generally looks like calorie restriction, that we're not losing any body fat. So then the question becomes like, how many calories should I be eating in a day, right? Like that's usually the number one thing, because if we reduce it too much, we might lose muscle. And then it's like, how much, maybe I should just make sure that I eat enough protein. So how many grams of protein should I eat every day, right? And these are kind of the two things that people are arguing about like crazy, like spitting venom at each other online, trying to figure this out, right? And there's like these heated debates. I want to propose something completely different. Let's opt out of traditional things like counting calories and worrying about how many grams of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats that you're consuming. Instead, let's just focus on the quality of the food that you're eating without reducing anything, at least without actively trying to reduce anything. Let's just get back to eating the highest quality foods possible and eliminating a lot of the crappy foods. What are the crappy foods? We all know. Donuts, pizza, pasta, all these things that you may be over consuming that might have put on the stuff right in the center, right? If we start to eliminate some of those things and we start leaning on higher quality foods that were designed for us to be able to survive and thrive. I'm talking about like real food, like getting away from the processed refined crap and getting back to real food. What if we just did that? No speak of calories, no speak of carbohydrates, proteins, fats. What if we just did that? And then we did some resistance training, right? We actually lifted some heavy stuff, right? Because what is the signal that we're sending to our physiology when we lift heavy stuff? Heavy's relative, but we can accumulate a lot of strength over time, right? And we can do it in a way that's very, very safe. But what if we started doing some resistance training and we built up our strength and we practiced it, right? What if we did resistance training, ate some real food, and let's throw another thing in there. What if we started sleeping really good at night? Because again, that's another signal to the body to be super healthy, right? And then what if, and I kind of lump sleep in this into the same category, although arguably maybe I shouldn't, but let's throw one more thing in there. What if your stress levels were not through the roof all the time? And generally, if you're sleeping good at night, that's one of your body's defense mechanisms against stress. So if you sleep good at night, the chances of you being overwhelmed by stress, having high cortisol, lots of adrenaline running through the system all the time, these are things that can kind of zap you and affect even muscle tissue. You can go into what's called a bit of a catabolic state, but that's a completely different conversation. So what if we did this? What if we just fixed the quality of your food? Okay, let's just fix that. In addition to adding in some resistance training, making you strong, right? In addition to sleeping good at night, which in turn would manage your stress levels. What if we did all of those things? Do you think that we would have to worry about you losing muscle tissue? Do you think that there may be a chance that you would increase muscle size? And look, I've been playing with this for years. I've been testing this. I've been playing with it over and over and over again on myself and on others. I'm not a big, huge muscle guy. That's not who I am genetically, but I've got plenty of muscle for my frame, for my size, and I'm stronger than most people my size and my frame. And you can have that same thing without counting calories, obsessing over protein grams. That becomes it's like insanity. And you maybe you've done it before, maybe you can do it for a period of time. But even my most type A personality friends can't sustain that for any real amount of time, right? We have to come up with something simple. But with simplicity, there also needs to be effectiveness, right? We can't just say, let's just keep it simple. It's got to be effective, right? And I would argue efficient as well, right? It's got to be efficient. So what I'm proposing, let's get your nutrition dialed in. But when I say dialed in, let's just eat some really good food. Let's improve the quality of the food. And in my Athletic After 40 coaching program, we actually measure it, and we measure it in a really simple way. We measure it by a percentage. It's super, super simple. So let's eat some quality food. Let's do some resistance training. Let's build your strength. Let's tax the musculoskeletal system in a way that develops strength, that sends the message to the body that says, we need muscle. We need it. We're not going to get rid of it. We're going to hold on to it because it's super, super valuable. And then let's get some sleep at night. When we bring these three things together, you're going to lose body fat. Why do you lose body fat? Because your body doesn't need to carry any excess. If you're carrying excess, something is off. The doors on the fat cells are open and they're letting stuff in for some reason. Something is broken. I shouldn't say broken. Something's happening where the messages are being sent to accumulate instead of eliminate. We don't want to build fat. We want to build muscle. We don't want to build fat. So we have to send different messages. A lot of the messaging is in your nutrition. And when we're talking about building muscle, a lot of the messaging is in your lifting heavy stuff, right? It's like being active. It's like trying to pick stuff up. That's heavy. That's a message, a signal to the cells to grow, to get bigger. Okay? Anyways, I'm kind of rambling on now. So hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully this serves you well. If you want to do this right and you want to make it sustainable, bring all of these things into your life. It needs to be a comprehensive approach. If you're trying to piecemeal this all together, it doesn't, you might get some results, but it's just not as good. You're not going to be as successful. You want to bring all of these areas into your life, and you want to develop those areas. You want to kind of sink your teeth into that. And when you can, it's amazing what can happen at any age. All right, and if you'd like my help, let me know. Just hit me up, send me a direct message, and I'd be happy to tell you a little bit more about how we can help you on this journey. We can give you literally the blueprint, the step-by-step process, and we surround you with some amazing coaching and some accountability and some structure so that you can get the body and the results that you need. And look, if you're a guy over the age of 40 and you're not in the place that you want to be with your physical self, your health, the way that you look, the way that you feel, if you're not in the best place, there's a good chance you need to get some help, some real help, right? It's okay. It's okay to reach your hand out. All right. Anyways, if you'd like my help, hit me up in the chat. Otherwise, have an amazing day and stay tuned. I'll be doing more of these videos. I know this week's been a little bit crazy for me, so I want to get a little bit more consistent with some of these videos so I can provide you with more and more value so that you can get yourself moving forward right now, today. All right? Today. Let's get moving right now. No use waiting. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till January 1st, 2022. Yeah, let's go right now. All right. Have a great day.